For months, you have thought about it, you have talked about it, and you have come to a decision. Is now the right time to stop renting, and is now the time to buy a house? That answer is going to be entirely up to each individual, because everyone's answer is going to be different. I bought my first house when I was in my early 40s. It was a little bit late, yeah, I know, but you know what? It wasn't the right time. I did a lot of traveling. I was never home. I was off in some faraway foreign land. I didn't know when I was going to be back home. So I finally settled down, moved to Texas, bought a house, and guess what? I got in the oil gas industry. Next thing I know, I'm traveling all over the country. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Oklahoma, all over Texas, Colorado, and Nebraska, those places. Every 3 months I'd probably come home for a week or two. Anyways, now it ended up being the right time for me at that time. Is now that you've decided to buy, I'm going to be going over a few milestones that's going to help assess those financial decisions, and it's going to help you know if or when the time is right for you. This video here is geared for those renters who might think you don't qualify for a home, or you think it's impossible, it's not within your reach. But it is within your reach. Who used to own a home but are renting, and who are in the same mindset, I can't buy a home, my credit score, I don't think I have enough money, etc. Watch this video, might realize that it is within reach. Anyways, my name is Owen Smith. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty, located here in Bastrop, Texas, and I am here to talk to you about good and bads between buying versus renting of a home. And now that you decided to buy, let's continue on. Now that you decided to buy, I'm going to go over a few milestones, and which is starting off with, you have little to no debt. Get your debt down. Start paying them off. Pull your credit score, and you'll be surprised what may be on it. Something from 10 years ago that is actually affecting your account. Have you saved up enough money, for a good down payment? Now, if you're VA, that's 0%. Now, other loans, conventional, FHA, etc., 3%, 10%, 20%, whatever it is. It also depends on what you want to put down. You've also got to increase your credit score. There are credit repair companies out there. Get a hold of me, and I can help you out with that. I'd recommend having a few months of living expenses in savings after all the upfront costs associated in buying a house. And you also have to have a steady income and a favorable DTI, which is debt to income ratio. And you're asking, what is a good debt to income ratio? There is actually a wide range of good debt to income ratios. And there's different mortgage programs that have different DTI requirements, and lenders get to set their own maximums too. Now, as a rule of thumb, you want to aim to, for a debt to income ratio of around 36% or less, but no higher than 43%. And this is how lenders typically view DTI. 36% is excellent, 43 is good, 45 is acceptable, 50% is absolute maximum. Don't go there. Buying a first home versus renting. What's right for you? Now, buying a home is going to provide you various benefits. Building equity, more control of your home, but don't feel as though you have to rush into it. This is probably one of the biggest expenses you're going to be making in your life, because you're talking about 300, 800,000, 1.5 million, whatever it is that you're buying. Leasing, it offers affordable alternate that that can help you lay the foundation. If you're not ready for it yet, continue leasing, but work proactively to set yourself up for a home. Now, let's go into the pros of buying. The pros of buying. You're building equity, all right? You're making your monthly mortgage payments each month, and that's bringing down your overall balance. And over time, with each payment, you're building equity. Add a few, add $25, $50 to $100, maybe $250, whatever it is, to each monthly mortgage payment. because because that's going to be applied to your principal, and it's going to go down. And when your principal goes down, your overall interest that you're paying for your term is going to decrease. And with each decrease, it's further building your equity. Now you've got tax benefits. You're going to be able to deduct mortgage interest and your property taxes on your tax returns. And now the following are, well, first off, when it comes to taxes, get with a tax accountant. The financial incentive, not only makes homeownership more economically favorable, but also it contributes to your overall financial well-being and health. Yeah, you've got your mortgage interest, deduction. You're going to lower it. You're going to lower your taxable income through this itemized deduction of mortgage interest. You got your home equity loan interest. It's basically a second mortgage of your home. You got your discount points. Now, if you purchase the points, it's going to reduce your mortgage interest rate, and you can deduct that cost from those discount points. However, the loan origination points are not going to be tax deductible because these are the fees that don't affect the interest rate of your loan. You got your property taxes depending on your location. Property tax deduction can be very valuable. You've got your necessary home improvements, that can qualify for tax deductions. Now, the definition of necessary is somewhat limited. If you upgraded your fully functioning kitchen, those improvement costs may not qualify. However, if you make permanent improvements to make your home more accessible for medical reasons, that should qualify. Example is medical equipment, railings, or widening your doorways for an accessible home. They may qualify. Work from home types, home office expenses. Now, if you operate a business in your residence or you work from home, you're going to be able to deduct some of the expenses of maintaining the space. Now, the IRS requires that you use your home office for a regular and exclusive business use in order to qualify for deduction. And now, for terms of the deduction, the size of the deduction is going to be based on percentage of your home dedicated to the place of business. Get with your tax accountant, save all your records, and notate anything and everything that you do for work from home, because you want to be able to itemize as much as you can. Now, you've got your mortgage insurance, the PMI. It's another expense that many homeowners factor into the budget, and you can deduct the mortgage insurance payments on your itemized tax returns. You also got your capital gains, those tax breaks. They come into play when you sell your home for a profit. Next one is control over your home. You got complete control of your home. As a homeowner, you can make any changes you want, any modifications. You can change up your driveway. You can go from cement to dirt if you want, without needing approval from a landlord. And unlike renters, where you got to ask permission and be at their mercy, it's like gives you that freedom, that ability to make it a home. Unlike renters who are constrained by landlord restrictions, you as a homeowner have that freedom to implement any changes without begging for approval. It sucks when you want to make changes to something because it's ugly. The color of the walls, you move in there, it, but after a few months, it starts driving you crazy. I've been there, many places, traveling around the country, from project to project. You can't really do a whole lot. You just have to kind of suck it up and live there. Anyways, the cons of buying a home. You got the higher upfront costs. And the biggest downside is that upfront cost. You've got a down payment, you got your closing costs, and other fees associated in buying the house. And you got to pay for it up front. The credit score is going to play a very impactful role in your ability to buy a home. A higher credit score is going to make it easier to obtain a mortgage with a lower interest rate, and it's going to be more favorable. Whereas a low credit score is less favorable interest rate. Now, this is where it's important to frequently be, checking your credit score and be on top of it, and got to work to improve it. Credit repair agencies are out there. Now, if you go through me, I've got lenders out there who do work with credit repair agencies who are wonderful. That will help you. Now, you've got maintenance costs. Now, disadvantage is you've got to pay for your own maintenance costs. Anything goes wrong, it's on you. HVAC, roof leaks, plumbing busts, where the foundation busts, gutters fall off. You got to pay for it. That's on you. You don't have the landlord to come in and rescue the day. And this is where the home warranty plan comes into play. And this is you should buy this for at least the first few years. Your realtor should set you up with one. If not, bring it up to him or her. Now, you've got less flexibility because you know why? You're a homeowner. This is your home now. You can't just get up and move around like a renter every 6 months to a year. You're grounded. And this could be a disadvantage for those of you who need to move frequently, for jobs like mine, like I was in the oil and gas industry, where every 6 months to 9 months, maybe 18 months, whatever, you're moving from location because a project is ending and another one is starting, etc. And so if that's going to be an issue where you don't want to pay a mortgage and a rent, then buying a home is not going to be for you until you get ready to settle down. But if you don't mind it, like I was paying a mortgage and rent, but I was content with it. I wanted a home. I wanted to own my own home. And you gotta have that trade-off. The pros of renting: you got flexibility. What we just discussed. You don't like it in this neighborhood, you don't like the school district for your kids, or you don't like the neighbors. Hey, guess what? You can break your lease, pay a fee, get out, move to another location. That's the advantage. Really easy. You got lower upfront costs. When renting a home, you typically pay the application fee first month, last month security, any pet security fees, and other fees associated with that's required from the property management company or from the landlord. And it's going to be a lot less money than it is for buying a home, and it's much more manageable for your budget. That way, instead of coming up with say $40,000 or $60,000 in your account depleted, now you can keep that money for maybe another 6 months to a year when you are ready to buy a home. No maintenance costs except for light bulbs and little things, little features like that. Anything major appliance that goes down that needs to be repaired, the landlord, they take care of it. They jump in and save the day. You don't have to pay all that expense for an HVAC that goes south, or the pipe bursts, in the middle of the night. He's going to take care of it. Now, light bulbs, little things, along that line, you're going to cover. Sometimes it's not worth going through the landlord, especially if you're capable of doing it yourself. It'll be that much easier and quicker. Now, some of the cons of renting. Okay, lack of equity. What did we talk about before? Homeowner, you're building equity after a few years. As a renter, you're making the landlord money. You're giving him the equity. You're not getting anything out of it except for a place to stay. Why give him money? Buying a home. You're building equity. You're building long term. The first couple of years it might be a little tight, but thinking 3 years, 5 years, 8 years down the road, you're going to start reaping the benefits. Now, there's going to be a lack of tax benefits. There are no tax benefits in renting. There's no deduction for mortgage or property taxes, and which can lead to a substantial savings on your end as a homeowner. But as a renter, you don't get any of it, and you're going to miss out on those savings. And now you've got also limited control. You want what you want to replace the baseboards, you want to replace the light fixtures, you want a ceiling fan put in, you want to paint the walls, you want to put in railings. You can't do that. You want to put in a outdoor patio fence. You can't do that unless the landlord, gives you the authorization. But then you're at his beck and call. Then what? 2 years from now, you're gonna move, and all that work you put into the money, it's gone. Whereas in a home, you do all that same work, it's yours. It's yours to keep, which can be frustrating as a renter, because you want to be able to make it your own place, but you're unable to. He can come in and make changes to it. He can do maintenance work to upgrade, but he's got to coordinate with you as to when that is possible. You might be asking, is mortgage cheaper than renting? Well, it is. It may not seem like it initially because you're making the down payment and the closing costs and other fees that go into buying a home. But overall, 3 years, 5 years, 8 years down the road, it is cheaper because now you've got equity. And you're putting money into your own pocket, not into some stranger that you're just renting a place from. Why do that? Make money for yourself. And owning a home can be cheaper, long term, point you in the right direction and start working with goals. Now, it's important for you to consider your financial situation when you are wanting and acting on buying a home. You got to be honest with yourself. So get with a realtor, get with a lender, and sit down. Find out what you're able to afford and able to achieve with what your income is, what your debt is, that all the money that you owe, what you can afford on a monthly basis. That way you can set up a game plan, have benchmarks, buy a house, move into it, make it your own. Make yourself money, not some other landlord that you don't know who doesn't really care about you. They just care about them making themselves money. There's tax implications of renting versus buying. Is going to be depending on your individual circumstances. Real briefly, we're going to get into the average home maintenance costs. It's when you move into a home, you have once you get settled in, you're going to start seeing the changes that you want to make. Do you want to change baseboards? Do you want to change the ceiling fans, the light fixtures? You want to change, add some the railings out in the front porch, the backyard, a different kind of fence. You want to build a gazebo out there. Do you want to tear it down, alter it? What do you want to do with the garage, the interior? You want to put up shelves, build walls, cabinets out there. Going into the attic, laying down more plywood to get more space for storage. Quarterly HVAC checkups, for the health of your HVAC machine, especially, before the summertime, when the AC is going to be running constantly. Those are going to be the home maintenance costs that are going to be associated with home ownership. Landscaping, mowing the lawn, edging, etc. Well, I hope you got something out of it. I'm glad you stayed all the way through the end. And if you have any questions, give me a call, text me, email me, leave a comment. Again, my name is Zoran Smake with Living in Bastrop. I'm a realtor with eXp Realty, located right here in Bastrop, Texas. If you need anything, give me a call. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. All right, thank you very much.